What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, Jamming with J Money. We back. It's Tuesday, trying to get some cash. Win or lose, we always back, guys. Make sure you go to SBR Picks/NBA to check out all the NBA content that we have over there. I'm your host, J Money. It's my guy Jordan Sharp, and it's my guy Junior Browne. We're gonna break down every NBA game today and try to find some cash, man. Some valuable spots out here. We're gonna try to, like I say, we're gonna try to beat the bookmakers, guys. That's what we do. Jordan, what's up, my guy?
What's good, y'all? Yeah, big play day for me yesterday, but didn't pay off. 2-2 on my 4 plays yesterday from the show. Felt a lot worse than that, though, to be honest. But I'll start with a positive. Definitely cashed my biggest play of the day on Pascal Siakam. He had a big game, as I predicted, so that felt pretty good. He came out firing in that game from the start, and then slumped a little bit, and then picked it up in the fourth quarter when they trying to make their comeback there. He was just trying to get to the bucket and probably just release some frustration, to be honest, because the Raptors, man, we can talk more about them the next time they play, but wow. And then barely squeaked by, got the under in that New York-Atlanta game. That felt good too, because I was going against the steam on that one. But needed more than 2 points in the first 5 minutes of Dallas and Houston yesterday on that play, so that didn't cash in the first half over that one. And then I think I'm going to officially retire Smokelahoma City. They're back to OKC, guys. They no nicknames for this team anymore. They hung tight for about first quarter and a half of that game, and it was over from there, man. That was a good call by your boy Jay Money there. So pat yourself on the back for that one. But yeah, overall split a pair yesterday. Looking to try to rebound here this short slate on Tuesday.
Let's get to it. What's up, Junior? How everything good with you, my guy?
Yeah, a bit frustrated with that Indiana loss. Been in this game since 2007, so it's not the first time that's happened to me, not the last time it's going to happen. It's just part of the game. It's just super annoying that Victor Oladipo obviously traveled on that first three when they were down 6 with like 40 seconds left, and the referees pretended like they didn't see that. So I had to turn the game off because I wasn't trying to break one of my laptop screens. But yeah, just overall, just trying to bounce back because another day, another dollar. Can't dwell on the losses, just like you can't get too excited about the wins. So let's get to it.
Exactly. That's what I always preach, man. Don't get too high on yourself. Don't get too low on yourself, because we all go through ups and downs. You might be on a win streak. You might be on a losing streak, man. But, yeah, just to recap yesterday real quick, the Magic did end up – I tweeted out, we talked about it on the show, if Darius Garland was out for the Cavs, they might not look good. They only scored 83 points in that game. Hung around for a while. Fournier was out for the Magic, but they still end up getting that one done. Easy undercall as well, as they only get 30 points combined in that fourth quarter. Went way under. The 76ers smack up the Hornets. I was actually watching that game. Hornets was keeping it close for a while. Then the Sixers just came in there and smacked them up pretty much there in that second quarter. Hawks, the Knicks seem to be back, guys. The Knicks are back. They're playing good defense. I thought it was somewhat of a letdown spot for them. They got down to 13 points in that game. And the Hawks, they just don't play enough defense, man. The Knicks do play defense. Hawks don't. They could score, but the Knicks really just punched them in the mouth, and they earned their win last night. I have to give them credit. Hawks lose back-to-back games at the house. The Heat just smacked the shit out of OKC. I know I said it was trifecta. The trifecta would have hit 6 shady points scored at the they scored like 6 points in like 3 seconds left that first quarter. Trifecta would have hit. We did catch the first half though in the full game. The Raptors have some problems, guys. Raptors have some problems. They catch the Celtics in third game, 4 nights with travel from the top of the country down to the bottom. Everything. They're damn near. They were smart. They didn't have Smart. Didn't have T out there. That's ugly by the Raptors. They started off. Van Fleet had like 4 threes in the first quarter. I thought he was going to blow them out. I don't know what's going on with this team. Mavs ended up getting the job done versus the Rockets, 113-100. The Bucks, and that's why we're going to talk about that Bucks game. Anything can happen, man. What do you see? Bucks covering, then they let them. They don't care at the end of the game, guys, and let the Pistons cover. Too many question marks now. Pacers end up getting the cash, and the Warriors end up just smacking the shit out of the Kings. That's enough for yesterday. The Warriors they throttled them boys. Draymond Green did end up playing, but that's enough about yesterday. Let's go ahead and get to today's games, guys. First game of the day, Nets, Jazz versus the Nets, guys. People betting this one like they know the final score already. Jordan, what you liking in this one? My guy, total opened up side opened up at Nets -3. Now sitting at Nets +4.5, and total opened up at 231.5, down to 226.5. KD out for 4 games. My guy.
Yeah, KD sitting this one out, so everybody is just thinking they're smarter than the average bear and thinking, like you said, this one's going to be an easy win for Utah. And I think if you guys well know, and most people who've been looking at this Utah Jazz team for the majority of this tenure here with this squad right now, they're a different team kind of on the road than they are at home. We'll see if that trend continues this year, but until I see it at a great sample size this year, I'm going to go ahead and assume that the money that's being dumped into this will probably see some reversal, and we'll probably see it come back the other way here as some sharp action jumps on the Nets here at some point in this game. It's just, I think that's a little bit too disrespectful to Brooklyn and Kyrie Irving, even without Kevin Durant. This team has a pretty good group of forwards to fill in. Now, obviously, you're not going to fill the shoes of Kevin Durant. That is impossible. But you do have Jeff Green, you got Taurean Prince, you got TLC playing well. I mean, all three of these guys bring a lot to the table, and combined, yeah, they're going to still be 3 or 4 points behind Durant, but they're at least going to be solid backups here in his stead, especially defensively, who they'll need him tonight against those Utah wings. So, Utah has so far looked pretty good on the road. They haven't been greatly tested except for that first game of the year against Portland. So I'm interested to see this kind of a benchmark game for them, even without KD. But going to be probably a pass for me right now. If I had to lean on a total, maybe the under here. It's been steamed so far down though. I think you probably missed the move on it a little bit.
Got you. Junior, what you think on this one, my guy? You think that the lines get too high, or Jazz kind of sort of, I'm not going to say they're hard to figure out. They're just so streaky and inconsistent. Which Jazz team are we going to get here? Are they going to come and smack the Nets up by 5 or more points, Junior?
I'm on the Nets +5. I think that once you're talking about the Jazz having to win by 2 possessions or more on the road, I'm not interested in any of that. Also, I think that yes, obviously losing KD is a huge deal. That's kind of one of those things that doesn't even really need to be spoken on. However, it's not like Kyrie Irving's a bum. I mean, right. Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? So without KD, Kyrie's just going to be like, okay, well, now I don't need to get another guy's shots. I'm just going to cook. I'm actually interested if any of you guys know what the Kyrie prop is, or you guys in the chat, if y'all know what the Kyrie player prop is. I don't really bet props. I'm pretty interested in betting this one today, though. I would assume it's probably something like 28, 29 and a half, probably.
Checking right now, actually.
And I see him putting a team on his back. I'm just going to go with my little breakdown real quick while we get there. I'll go back to you guys. I mean, we got plenty of time today, guys. Plenty of time. So we, get there. But I'm with you, Junior. I got him at +4.5. I saw it go up to 5. I said I'm gonna have to hop on that as well. It's a little disrespectful, bro. I mean, so the Jazz, they are here on the road. They have been playing well. So they went and beat the Clippers. We're smacking them, let them come back. You go and smack the Spurs. Okay, they were missing LaMarcus Aldridge, missing Derek White, who are just not playing well right now. I mean, the Spurs are playing well at first. So you got the Jazz down here on the road. Now I'm looking at it. I see somebody say last night, KD out. I'm taking them +2.5. So I'm gonna wait on this line. I'm gonna see where it goes in the morning because it was net -2.5 last night. So it goes to +2.5. And then it's still shooting up to a 4. I'm like, bro, people are betting this game hand over fist like they already know the score. Like they didn't read tomorrow's newspaper already. I just feel like this line's getting a little out of hand. Is that after you look at the Nets, they've not looked so good lately. And I know it's early in the season. You new coach over there. You know you got Kyrie. He's a fucking head case. Call me crazy, but I think this is I know it's early in the season, but this is a must-win for the Nets, in my opinion. You're catching points at the house. They could lose the game and we still cash. You fucking kidding me? I'm gonna have some on the Nets. Excuse my French guy. I'm gonna have some on Nets money line as well. I'm sprinkling on Nets money line. I think they get the win here. Jazz are one of the more inconsistent teams of the day off in New York. Hey, Clarkson, I bet you he went to the club. I know my boy Clarkson. Boy went to the club or something and did some little drinking. I like Clarkson, but when he's off and not giving them 20 off the bench, Jazz are another team. One more thing I gotta say. I don't want to see Joe. I need to see Joe Harris go to the bench and Landry Shamet get the starting lineup because we're gonna need him against Donovan Mitchell. So that's the last thing I gotta say about that. Maybe you can put TLC on him, but y'all go.
Kyrie's at 27.5 tonight. Looks like shading towards the over a little bit.
Ooh, there's a sale happening. I'm on
it. It does seem to be a little short, but that's still a lot of points. Also, when you know he's gonna get double teamed basically all night.
That don't matter. He's comfortable with a double team. He wakes up in the morning.
What his assist lines are, because that might be the other one that may be sharp tonight. Because if he is getting double teamed, that means somebody's going to be wide open for a 3. So I'm going to look up that one here in just a second. But yeah, his props are definitely intriguing tonight with no KD. His usage rate is probably going to be like 35% or something crazy.
Honestly, I feel like Kyrie being a weirdo right now is somewhere watching a video of what Jamal Murray did to these guys last year. and he's going to give you a little bit of a taste of what Jamal Murray was doing, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Kyrie's a lot better than Jamal Murray.
Nah, for real, and a lot more consistent as well. A lot better handle, a lot better shot. Like I said, a lot better consistent. There was something we talked about there. Jamal Murray had bottle energy. Everything that was going on, he channeled it, the energy, and put it in. You know what I'm saying? He had a good game last game, 36. We'll talk about that. We'll get to it. But yeah, I'm on the Nets today, and I kind of feel like it's a contrarian play. I kind of feel like I'm going against everybody. I think some people are going to be surprised the way the Nets come out to play today. I really feel like they're going to come out with an inspired effort. The jeweler calling me, guys. The jeweler calling. But I like the Nets, man. Plus 4.5, plus the 5. Official play for me. Give me to me. It's a 5 out there. I'll take the plus 5, but I mean I got money on plus 4.5. It's all good. I'm gonna sprinkle on that money line as well, man. Call me crazy, but I think this is a very winnable game for the Nets. They off 2 straight losses at the crib. I think they're coming today. We'll see. You should see a better defensive effort out of them boys tonight too. And better bench. What's up, Junior?
The Nets need wins. They just need, like, people are underestimating their sense of urgency. They gotta win games. They're in the same division as Philly, the same division as Boston. They gotta get wins, bro. They don't have time for this under 500 business. Like the season is 10 games shorter than normal. They don't have time for this. So they're gonna come out with a sense of urgency, I feel like.
And guys, just like I said on Twitter, you remember first 2 games after the season, everybody was ready to give them, I'm talking about crown them boys already, ready to give them the championship ring. Or, hey, what y'all want on the rings already, bro? Like, how y'all want your rings made? Everybody thought the Nets, it was just already over. Number 1 power rated team in the league, all type of shit. So now they lost a few, 0-5 ATS last 5. Nobody, you see the little wheat thing going across in the road. Nobody wants to bet the Nets. Give me the Nets tonight. Give them to me plus the 5. Sprinkle on the money line as well. Nothing's guaranteed, but I think the sense of urgency will be there tonight. Just KD being out, I'm sorry, this is too much of a move. If you ask me, I do this, man. I like the Nets though. Nothing's guaranteed, but I'm on them. Let's get to the next. What's up?
Jay, please, I can't skip over this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro. I hate doing that. Somebody in the chat just mentioned something that me and my boys were talking about a couple of days ago in our group chat. Somebody in New York, please help Kevin Durant out with a barber.
Oh my God! Are he going bald?
Yeah, dog. Go up to the Bronx, hit Fordham Road. You in NY, son. Hey, all kind of barbers in NY, my guy.
That bald spot that's at the top. Bro, he running down the court. Right, so look, me and my girl Junior. Yeah, no, I can hear you. But Junior, he running down the floor. KD, me and my girl watching, you know what I'm saying? He already done brushed his hair, but he got that bald spot going. You know what I'm saying? Just a few seconds. But so he run down the floor. We could see the bald spot shining from like the other camera angle, man. We just dying laughing, bro. She was just hilarious. Then they showed a close up, like, bro, you like a bum out there. You got 500 M's, bro. And you, all right, let's get to the money, man. Enough about KD, but yeah, that's ridiculous there. No matter where he's been like there since Golden State, OKC, bro. Even when he was at Texas, he just doesn't like brushing his hair, man. Enough of that, though. Enough of that, guys. Next game up, Lakers versus Grizzlies. Jordan, you liking anything on this one? Yeah, you got real good touch on the Grizzlies, Jordan. We're gonna go to you here. Any looks on this one? A little revenge spot for him?
So a couple things. We all know the revenge narrative. Obviously, these back-to-back games have been strong, but this is also the Los Angeles Lakers we're talking about, Sarah. So I think I can't put them in the same class as like every other average team here in the NBA on these second nights of these double headers. Basically, I will say this: I think the injury report for both teams is probably something you're going to have to watch for this one, because the Lakers are starting a stretch of 3 games in 4 nights. LeBron's been questionable literally like every game this year. Mm-hmm. They're going to find a time to rest him. It may not be until the back-to-back set they have upcoming on the 7th and the 8th against San Antonio and Chicago. But considering the Grizzlies are down basically everybody, and they pretty much beat them with ease here just a night ago, or 2 nights ago, excuse me, it kind of leads me to believe that there could be some injury report pop-ups here with either LeBron or KCP. Oh. Neither of those would affect really the Lakers' ability to cover the spread by any means against the Grizzlies, though. So don't make this seem like I'm going to bet the Grizzlies here. But I will say this: I think Melton may be back for the Grizzlies tonight, which gives them another playmaker, which they've been very much lacking since Ja Morant went down. So that could play a factor tonight. I'm going to be interested in see what his status. I'm trying to look at the injury report actually right now from last night because I don't think he's on
He's
it.
still
So
questionable. He's still
yeah,
questionable.
I know the new one comes out in about 15 minutes, so maybe I'll check that one. We'll double back to that. But that would be the thing if he's in. And then maybe, LeBron gets or KCP gets ruled out. Then you may be able to find some value with the Grizz here in this second game and the revenge narrative. But I just don't think I'm investing in it. It's just a little bit too much of a stretch for me tonight.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw LeBron questionable as well. I thought that him or AD may not play the last game. Both of them actually did play. They won by 14. The Grizzlies is a scrappy squad. I'm looking at this, Junior, and this is just one of them spots. Damn, Jakogi ruled out. Motherfucker. All right, sorry. But this is one of the things I look at. Junior, last game of a road trip, 4-game road. The Lakers have won every single game so far this year. So far on this 4-game road trip. Now that's the last one against the team that you just beat. Do you think that somebody's going to sit here? I'm done speculating, saying that I think the Browns will be. I'm not going to do that no more. But he's questionable here, Junior. Do you think that they go full throttle here? Do they care? Are they ready to get back to the house?
I'm going to play J Money for a second and actually predict that LeBron's probably going to sit. I know that's usually your lane, but in this situation, you have a very good point. First of all, if you give LeBron the night off tonight, that's 3 nights off. Which, if you look at the way the schedule is, nobody has 3 nights off pretty much at any point other than I think the All-Star break. So if you could get LeBron extra rest, I know the questionable every game thing is super annoying, but I don't remember what game it was now because it was so long ago. I'm pretty sure it was the Portland game where his ankle literally turned all the way over. Any normal human being would have been out for at least a game or two. He's just questionable. So actually, for once, I'm not really going to shit on him for being questionable. It makes sense. And with that same train of thought in mind, if you're going to rest him, when are you going to have a better opportunity to do it than this specific spot? So I'm kind of off this game because I even if LeBron plays, I feel like he's just going to take it easy. I don't really like handicapping games when I just feel like the effort level is not going to be 100%. So I'm off this game.
Gotcha. And Jordan says something there. If Milton's in, man, I'm gonna tell you, and I have a lean for the Grizz here, home dog. It's not even necessary that it's the revenge. It's the fact that it's the last game of the road trip for the Lakers. It's something I always look at from a couple of years back. I started noticing this because I would hop on the team. I'm talking about the number would be like -3. It would be like maybe the Lakers or some really good team on the road, last game of the road trip, short number. I'm like, oh, this shit's too easy. Oh, I'm taking them. And then they would get smacked. I'm like, what's going on? And then I started looking at it. It's their last game of their road trip. I mean, especially when you've had a successful road trip. That last game is just like, you know what I'm saying? We're ready to get back to the house, ready to get back to take care of business. You know what I'm saying? Especially you look towards the game that they have next. It's Spurs. It's not a big deal, but still, last game of a 4-game road trip, it's always something that when it's get to like 4 or 5 games, guys, 6 games. Oh, that's 6 games. Oh, boy, I love them spots. But like I say, me personally, in this one, I do lean the Grizz. I'm going to be looking for that Milton as well. I'm not in a hurry to bet it. It'd probably be a smaller sum. I do like the Nets a lot better, but it's a heavy lean to the Grizz for me, especially with the little cherry on top for the home revenge. You're getting them their double digit. So one thing I can say, Jordan, the Grizzlies kind of fought there in their first game. I mean, they didn't just get smacked by 30 freaking points. They were fighting against the Lakers. I was watching a few minutes of that game, and Lakers just come through. I mean, obviously they can beat them without, you know what I'm saying, with even trying, but that kind of gets into your head. The Grizzlies, I've seen them kind of sort of come out and smack teams when they're not ready, man. They don't have Morant, but I do think they can keep it close.
You're sitting here kind of maybe talking me into looking into more, maybe betting the Grizzlies either first quarter or first half. I think there's that possibility that of the sleepiness of the Lakers combined with the potential that, like Junior was talking about, if LeBron sits tonight, that could really play well into that. But if LeBron sits, the 9 is what you need to grab immediately before they take it down. But also, like you said, the revenge narratives have been pretty good. I wish I would have been keeping better track of kind of what the first quarter, first half ATS is for these teams coming on playing the same team twice in a row on the second night after losing that first one. But at least in theory wise, it sounds like it might be a good play. I may have to look into that a little bit more. So maybe lean that way for me right now. But once again, the Lakers, I can't put them in the class of some of these other teams because they can just, like you said, come out and just wax anybody, it seems like, with pretty much ease. So it's like if the Grizzlies down all their players right now, even if Melton's back, I mean, it's still, like I said, it's still to the point where it's probably just going to stay a lean for me right now.
Got you. Let's get to the next game. We got the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. This line opened up at Nuggets minus 12, down to 10.5 now. It's maybe 111 out there, especially with Okogie being ruled out. Yeah, I see 111. It's 11 minus 115 at bookmaker. Maybe wait till game time. Probably go back up to 11. It's another one where it's a little. It's not a home and home. Well, it is. This is actually a home and home because they played in Minnesota first time. Now they're in Denver. Like I say, the Timberwolves, it's actually, if you looked at the first that game, the Nuggets had to outscore them by 16 points in the fourth quarter to go and win that game by 15, meaning they were down 1 going into the third quarter. The Timberwolves were able to keep it close they was up by 1, like I say, through 3 quarters. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in this one, especially when they have some revenge. I mean, who are the Nuggets to be laying double digits here? I'll be honest, I got the Timberwolves last night at plus 12, Junior. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm very close to pulling the trigger on the Timberwolves myself. But in the first quarter at plus 4, again, like you mentioned, who are the Nuggets to be laying this many points against anybody? They're not playing well. Their offense is clicking for once, but their defense is so horrible that it's not equating to wins. And the funny thing is, the only team that's worse defensively in the league right now than Denver is actually Minnesota. So that's the only reason I haven't pulled the trigger yet, because Minnesota's defense can fall off a cliff at any point. Like you said, Denver scored 41 points in the fourth quarter, and they did that with mostly bench guys. You know what I'm saying? Jokic played the whole fourth quarter, but Jamal Murray only played half of it, and it was mostly most of their bench guys led by our boy Campasso.
And Murray had to go off 36. Junior, I'm not to cut you off, but he had to go off for 36 in order for them to come back and win that game.
But he only scored 4 points in the fourth quarter, though, right? So, they're pretty lucky, whereas Campasso had 12. Is that really going to happen again, son? Come on, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? My lean is on the Timberwolves. They've looked bad, but they've got to be one of the youngest rosters in the NBA. Everybody they bring out is a young kid. And between me and you guys, I don't even really want to say this because it seems insensitive, but I feel like Flip Saunders' son is kind of getting the pass because he's Flip Saunders' son. I feel like if he wasn't, they would probably look to hire a more competent coach. Not to say that he doesn't know what he's doing, but what experience does he have to be leading this franchise? But I'll leave that alone. That's up to Minnesota to run their business how they want. I think once they get a more competent coach, they'll probably take another step forward. But in terms of this specific game, Denver's not good enough right now to be laying double digits against anybody, especially considering that their calling card is usually defense, and their defense is pathetic right now.
Exactly. And so I saw something about Gary Harris. They're trying to shop Gary Harris as well. Maybe he saw that in the news, or somebody told him, and his mind get to going everywhere. But the Nuggets have tried to shop Gary Harris. Nobody wants him, no. So that's another interesting thing. What do you think, Jordan? You like this 10.5 with the Nuggets?
If I'm leaning in one direction, definitely taking the underdog here. We've been through this time and again. I am not a Denver Nuggets believer. I don't think I have been, outside of like Jamal Murray in the bubble. I don't think I've ever been a Denver Nuggets believer. And the Wolves, they're missing Okogie, but I mean, like they got enough bodies on the wing and the guard position, I think, to take care. The question is down low whether or not they can stomach the interior attack of Denver and keep them off the glass here in this one. But if they can, yeah, they're going to cover this one. I want to ask you guys a question this game, because this is something that I just keep coming up against. We have Denver, who's got the 29th ranked defensive rating in the league through 6 games. The only team worse than them in the league is the team they are hosting tonight in the Minnesota Timberwolves. Why in the world? Now, I understand the line is shortening in favor of the Wolves, and that usually correlates with the under. So I think people are just jumping on the fact that, the dog is shortening. I gotta slam some money on the under. But why in the world does this total keep going down when you have the two worst defensive teams in the league? I know it's a small sample size, and I know that Denver's pace is very, very slow, and they probably will be able to dictate pace somewhat easily in this one. But if if Minnesota gets out to a lead, they're not going to be able to do that. And so you're talking about if Minnesota jumps on them early, like Junior's leaning towards here, which I think is a very sharp play. I may be tailing that one too. But if that happens, they're not going to have that benefit. They're not going to be able to slow the game down. So maybe lean over here for me, but like I said, I haven't gotten there yet. But it's just like looking at this line movement and where these two teams are at defensively right now. I don't see that improving tonight against each other. Do you?
Well, we have seen Junior. I know you was finna say something first. We have seen sometimes, like the second time the teams face each other, that it be a little bit better defensive output. Junior, were you about to say something on this one before we get to the
No,
next one?
yeah, and I'll stop interrupting today. I'm sorry about that.
You
Oh,
good?
you're straight. No, keep it up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the fact that Michael Porter Jr. is not playing either, it doesn't
good
help
point.
Denver because we know that Jamal Murray is very streaky, and if he has a bad game, then points dry up real quick for that team.
Yeah. And if he would have had a bad game last game, like if he didn't go for 30, they would have lost straight up. So I mean, I know the Nuggets got the size advantage, all that, and the defense has been bad. I do think that they still have defenders though. I mean, you still have some damn good defenders, Gary Harris, Morris over there. You know what I'm saying? They got some good defenders, just they're not defending right now. Or like as a team, they're not playing defense. And that's what matters. We don't care. It doesn't really matter about individual, but official, I'll go with official. My money is on Timberwolves plus 12, but I'll go with the official for the show, Timberwolves plus 11. That's my official. Nets plus 4.5, plus 5 official, and then Timberwolves plus 11, plus 10.5. My money is on the 12 though. Last night. Next game up, guys. We got Spurs versus Clippers. I don't have much on this one. We'll go to Junior first on this one. Junior, any looks on this one? Spurs versus Clippers. Looks like LA is out again. Line went up from Clippers -8 to -10.
LaMarcus Aldridge, that's what you said, LA? Yeah. LaMarcus Aldridge looks like the oldest 35-year-old basketball player I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know what to say about him, but so him being out, I kind of don't care about that. I still kind of lean Spurs. I think that if this line has been adjusted that much for LaMarcus Aldridge, you're not really watching the Spurs lately because, yeah, he's still a piece on that team, but that's just because they're kind of devoid of talent, not because he's still the LaMarcus Aldridge we think of from when he first came to the Spurs and when he was on Portland. So I lean Spurs here. I think it's too many points. The Clippers are clearly the better team, but I haven't figured out the Clippers yet. I'm not really sure that they're that much better than last year. I mean, I think they are, but I need to see them play more. I'm admitting I have not watched enough Clippers games to have a proper opinion of this team.
Damn, yeah, they say it's buffer. I don't know what's going on in the studio, but I know it says buffering, but I can't do nothing about that, guys. But Jordan, any looks on there? It looks like it did come back down to 9.5. And I'm not a huge LA fan either. He does look super old, but the Spurs look like they miss him. Jordan.
Yeah, no, that was going to be my exact point. They need him. 35 years old and 15 points a game. They need that because they don't have a ton outside of DeRozan and DeJounte Murray. That being said, if indeed Aldridge is officially out, I didn't see where he was, but I'll double check that. If you guys said he is, he probably is. He's missed 3 games in a row already, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if he misses again. But if that happens and that gets real official, I think I'm probably going to jump on DeJounte Murray's points, rebounds, and assists tonight. It's at 24.5. His usage rate's definitely going to skyrocket. Him and DeRozan are basically going to have to carry this team offensively. I'm not terribly worried. A little bit concerned about the Patrick Beverley matchup, but also with it being a PRA play, I think he's going to get a ton of rebounds and assists in this one regardless. So you just got to hope he gets his double digits, maybe 12, 15 points. And I think that one still cashes pretty easily. So if LMA is officially out here in this injury report that comes out here in about 2 minutes, that's probably going to be my lone official today.
Hey, shout out to Matthew Whitaker, who said that Derek White being out might be more important than Aldridge.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah,
it's a pretty good take
because he hurt his toe as well. Yeah, he's back. He's back out.
He was. Yeah, I'm finna say he was already out though, guys. He was already out, and he didn't. So you look at the Spurs in their first 3 games. They didn't have Derek White out there. They did have LA, and they had a really good game. Then the next game he sat it out. So I mean, that game versus I know it was the Lakers, but he did good, but it didn't really just matter for the Spurs. It caught me crazy, but they're really missing LaMarcus Aldridge. They really need him to come out there as starting center and have Pirtle coming off the bench. And there's no way. I'm not looking at the Spurs. I wouldn't even look their way. It's just me without LaMarcus Aldridge. They could cover in this spot. Clippers kind of sort of team to play down to. They kind of seem to play down to their competition or whatever. Let's see who they got. Who they got next? They got Golden State next. I don't know. I mean, they come back to the house for one game, then you're going on the road for two more against Golden State. I don't know. If I had to take it, probably be Clippers, but I don't have anything on this game. I don't want anything to do with it. I'll probably watch it, but a couple better spots on there is if you ask me, guys. Let's go to this next one. So no official play from neither one of you guys on this one, right?
I think I'll go ahead and like I said, I'm about to look at this injury report here in just a second, and by the end of the show I might make DeJounte Murray official, but that would be the only one for me.
Gotcha. And Jordan, where do you look at for your official NBA injury report?
Let's see, what's it? The URL is official.nba.com/NBA injury report. You can just Google NBA official injury report and it should pop up. And then you can see it comes out at 1:30, 5:30, and 8:30. So hopefully this 1:30 we'll see that LA's out and we can get some clarity on that.
Gotcha. Next game up, my guys. We got the Bulls versus Blazers. A somewhat intriguing game, if you ask me. A little bit scary, but Jordan, what you think, man? You think so? The Blazers come back to the house, man, off a 4-game road trip, guys. Y'all know me. I kind of sort of like it. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a sleepy spot when the team's coming back off of our first game, especially when it's a 3 or 4 game road trip. The Blazers didn't necessarily have a successful road trip. It was 2-2. It didn't end on a high note. They actually played a terrible game versus the Warriors. So that's the only thing that doesn't, like, it would be lovely if it was the other way around. They played a good game, come back to the house, but still they land 10 here, Jordan. What do you think here? Do you think that there's too many points? Do you think the Bulls can keep it in? I really wish they had Satoransky and Laurie Marketing in there, man. I'd be out at the line. We wouldn't be getting 10 though. So you know.
I mean, if Markin was in, you'd probably be getting like maybe 7.5, 8, maybe. I don't think Markinen's moving the line a full 2 points like that.
No, I was just saying him and Satoransky because that's their backup point guard. They really need
Sato, and then they don't have Arcidiacono either, right? So like they're down basically their backup and their third string point guards. So they got some problems behind Kobe White if he's having to expend a ton of energy guarding Dame tonight. That's a problem for the Bulls. That's probably the one thing keeping me away from them in this one. But like you said, it's a ton of points. It's coming down. I mean, the Blazers. We're talking about bad defenses. The Wolves and the Wolves and the Nuggets. The Blazers are right down there with them. They haven't played a lick of defense so far this season. Yeah, granted, that's skewed a little bit because of the early numbers and because of what Steph Curry did to them the other night. But still, I mean, they gave up 126 to Houston without half their team. I mean, they lost to the Clippers, gave up 128. I mean, they're not against giving up points. They were able to play the Lakers pretty tight on the 28th back in December. But I mean, this is a team that I just can't trust their defense on right now. And like you said, even with Markkanen out, I mean, the Bulls aren't necessarily that bad off at forward now with that Thaddeus Young is back from his little leg issue that he had earlier in the year. So he can fill in that spot pretty nicely. He's not not as good of a 3-point shooter, obviously, but he does everything else pretty well. I mean, even at this stage of his career, I think Thad's still kind of a plus value player at that power forward position for them. And I think he's going to probably go a long way in trying to guard either Covington, Melo, or probably either one of those guys. You don't really need to guard Derek Jones Jr. that much, but he's still important. But yeah, I mean, lean Bulls here, heavy lean towards the Bulls back, but I just don't. It's just the injuries a little bit for Chicago are keeping me off, and the fact that I think Portland coming off of the way they lost to Steph the other night, I think it's probably a pretty good bounce back for them spot. But like you said, this spot is not necessarily locked in for that. They could definitely have a little bit of a letdown here as well. So a lot of points. That's what I keep coming back to. But I just it's going to probably stay in the lean category still once again.
Exactly. Yeah, the Blazers can still come back. They only want to win. They don't need to blow them out. That's how I'm always. I mean, if they come in sluggish, so this the thing, and I'm not making the Bulls official play. The Blazers could blow them out. They could come back to the house like they are the better team. Like the Bull, I'm not sure 10 points, but like it just matters about this game, Junior. Do you think that the Blazers come home and have a little sluggish spot, or do they just get right and smack the shit out of the Bulls here?
So the first game after a long road trip is definitely a spot where sharps have taken advantage over the years. That you're not that's like one of those things that you're not making that up, or it's not just a gut feeling. That's just factual. That being said, one of the reasons I love doing this show is just I love to hear other people's opinions. Because I was gonna say if I had gone first before Jordan, I was gonna say I actually was about to take the Bulls this morning at +9.5. Until I realized that Satoransky was out. And I expected people to be like, this mofo is worried about Satoransky. But
we watch basketball.
If you watch basketball, Satoransky's really – first of all, the Wizards should have never let Satoransky leave. Yep. But that's besides the point. On Chicago, he's averaging 6 assists a game, and he comes off the bench, bro. 6 assists a game off the bench is crazy. He's really, really important to this team. And if you pay attention to what Chicago's doing – why they look a little bit better, why I haven't been slandering them every show like I usually do, like I did last year. Billy Donovan is trying to instill something there. They're running, they're getting easy baskets, and I'm not sure if people really realize this, but the Portland Trailblazers, especially when it comes to transition defense and just keeping people out of the paint, they have a lot of the worst perimeter defenders in the league. I'm sorry, I love Dame Dollar. He's not a good perimeter defender. C.J. McCollum's not a good perimeter defender. Gary Trent Jr. is not a good perimeter defender. A lot of their guys are not good perimeter defenders, which is why Robert Covington was such a big pickup to that team. So you're asking them to come back to the house in a bit of a sleepy spot. And again, normally Rip City, the Blazers home court, that's like one of the best home court advantages in the NBA. Well, there ain't nobody there. So I just feel like they came home, wife and kids, ate an extra meal, feeling a little fat, had a little sipping on a little something. They're like, oh, the Wizards are in town? Pfft, we got this. We good. I mean, not the Wizards, the Bulls, sorry. I think the Bulls plus 9.5 is the play for me. It's not official yet. I'm hoping it gets to 10. I'm a little greedy, but in this spot because the Blazers will break your heart. Whenever you think the Blazers are a lock, that's when they're going to break your heart.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it said 9.5 across the board. Was at 10 last night. So if you did want to 10, I was staring at it last night. I was staring at it, but I got a funny feeling about it, Junior. One thing you did say that I have to kind of back up. They do have, so this is the thing with the Blazers. Their defense really haven't been, so this is the thing we were saying, that the Blazers defense should get better with Derrick Jones Jr. and Robert Covington coming over there. We know it hadn't just really meshed. They do have some perimeter defenders. Like, I'm scared for Zach LaVine tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Derrick Jones Jr. get on him, he will neutralize Zach LaVine. So, I mean, they do have this is what you said, Junior. Dame Lillard and CJ, you're exactly right about them. They are not good perimeter defenders. That's why Steph smacked them up and Kobe White could go off. But when it comes to like Zach LaVine and it come to, you know what I'm saying, like that 3 spot, they did get a couple, and that's what they got them for. That's what they went and got Derrick Jones Jr. and Robert Covington for, exactly for a 3-point defense. I still think Trent can play some damn good defense as well. But and I'm looking at the benches. At first I was like, the Bulls had the bench advantage, but especially without those 3 players. And if the Blazers get Hood back tonight, they actually will have the bench advantage. Like I say, it's a sleepy spot for the Blazers, but I do think that if they came to play right enough, like the Bulls, we can't forget they could possibly have a letdown as well. They are 4-1 ATS last 5, but they're coming off a win versus the Mavs. You always wonder about teams like that coming off a win, but we know they're going to be better this year. Sleepy spot for the Blazers. I lean Bulls, but I didn't put money on it because I wouldn't be surprised to see the Blazers going smack them out. I do still think they have the potential. It's just if they're going to do it in this potential game. Jordan, what's up with the injury report, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think there's anything. Let's see, let me double check that. I don't think there's anything from Portland tonight. Let me double check what. Here we go. Just came out. Hold on one second. One thing, let me ask you guys a question real quick. I'm pulling this up still, because we got 4 underdogs today, priced basically exactly the same. Are we pretty much in agreement that the best 2 are Chicago and Minnesota?
Yes,
unless LeBron sits. Leave that out.
Like you say big dogs?
Yeah, of all those 4 big underdogs today, are we all in agreement that Chicago and Minnesota are probably the better of the 4, the top 2 of them?
I'm going to – the Timberwolves are, like I said, at plus 12. That was the first thing that I bet last night. It was 2 games up, the Timberwolves and the Bulls, and I took Timberwolves a couple of times at plus 12. The Bulls, I don't know. I'm almost willing to say that I would go with the Grizzlies before I'm going to go with the home dog before I would go with that road dog.
What about you, Junior? We obviously
know. If you're putting a gun to my head, you're saying the Grizzlies or the Lakers? Sorry, I was kind of typing.
like just all the dogs today, basically. Regardless, it seems like I was just asking, like, it seems like Chicago or Minnesota are the best 2, but now it seems like Jay's kind of maybe thinking Memphis may be one of the behind Minnesota for him as the next best dog to take today.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say this: the only reason that I can't take Memphis personally is because the Lakers, the Lakers at their best are rolling teams right now. They're not just beating them. It's like a joke. So I'm worried about that angle. The only reason I wouldn't take the Lakers because I'm just not sure if LeBron's going to play or not. But I wouldn't go as far as to take Minnesota because they just their defense is like, it's not just bad. It's like guys don't even know what they're doing.
Injury report looks like Aldridge is still officially questionable tonight for the Spurs. LeBron and KCP both still listed questionable as well. That's the only.
They could go and sit out one time, man. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They go just chill. They could just, you know what I'm saying? Just wear your chains tonight, man. Put the chains on, LeBron. Just chill, man. But I mean, anything can happen. Not a strong game for me. I'm not. One thing I can say, I'm not in a hurry to bet against the elites, even though they do have letdown games or games where they don't really care about as much. I do think this could possibly one, but I'm not in a hurry to bet against the Lakers, guys. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I like the Nets tonight. I do think it's a winnable game for them. Might put a little sprinkle on the money line. And I think the Timberwolves, man, that little revenge spot. But Jordan, go ahead and break them off with your official plays, my guy, before we get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching that Aldridge news like a hawk tonight, because if he's out, I'm gonna get on DeJounte Murray over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I like that. I like that a lot tonight if he sits and with White out again. Lean Nets, lean Wolves. That's probably it for me tonight. I'll probably stay. I lean Bulls, but yeah, it's just like a lot of leads. Just I don't know if I'm gonna get there.
Got you. Junior, what up, my guy? What you got?
Brooklyn +5. Am I crazy? Is that number not too high?
Like, it's too. Yeah, it's probably.
I'm on it.
High. Speaking of underdogs,
I'm about to go hop on it again.
Yeah, so
I didn't get the 5, Junior. I got 4.5. I'll be straight up and down with you. I'm finna go get me some. I'm finna go put some 5 in my pocket.
BetOnline's got it at 5. That's where I took it.
Yeah, now my local gonna have 5.5, bro. They might close at 6 if I don't go and hit them. Like they be shooting shit up. The public is gonna be all over Jazz, so I just sit there and wait until the last second. I guarantee you he gonna have it at 5.5.
I might have to cash up you some money, get me on on that with your book. We'll talk about that after. But yeah, no, I'm on the Nets +5. Excuse me. I'm on Minnesota +4 first quarter. I am nervous about it because, like I mentioned, their defense hasn't been great. But Denver should not be laying that many points against anybody. Those are my 2 official plays for now. The rest are just leads.
Got you. Official plays for me. My God, the graphic guys didn't even take it to the Junior's piece, but it's cool. Take it down to Jay's picks, guys. Take it down to Jay's piece. Yeah, no, in the chat we are buffering a little bit, but it's cool, man. We'll get the piece, man. We'll get the piece. But I'm on the Nets, man. My money's on +4.5 right now, and I like the 5. Obviously I like the 5. I think it's a winnable game for the Nets. I think that they're coming out with a sense of urgency here. I know it's early in the season. You called me crazy. I know you must a lot of people, but trust me, the NBA teams have must wins in like the first couple of weeks as well, man. You can't get off to too bad of a start, especially when you're expected to be